abusia for one sitting MP bi ho abasem. Yes. One sitting MP, current MP abusia no ho abasem a enya asem ketewa ewo eye Kwasi Bruni ekuru so e had aso ye be media jeje abusia we dey ma make asem pese ekone kokoti ensem aba abonten. Yentie nia aba abonten sesi ana se bi abusia fa moden na ya kire ya adwen abusia ha ye ni atem ya adwen na ya kire ewo na ye hu anya ete ewo eye social media so yentie nia aba abonten na sesi
abusia ye Samuel Platt Kwasi Pratt wa my latest info bia na say confidential information bia and leaking out will be until abusia ni nyina the minority demanding the foreign minister Kuja Tabrakwa to resign or the petition nyina akose they demand the immediate removal of the foreign minister Kuja Tabrakwa, so the president should remove him. Some petition say letter no I've told you my reject and abusia first and forward Kwasi Pratt din komom say Kuja Tabrakwa ebon and this visa restriction on nyina visa restriction immigrant visa restriction in United States of America. Area to Ghana so and 5 others. It's not only Ghana. So Ochima the Okuja to the foreign minister Ebon Homoding because there was some Ghanaians MPB amoko Israel ye chimu detain mo nina the help of what Okuja Tabrakwa. But me roba kwasa azemenosono. Yekoti the minority leader press conference honorable AJ. One on the release a press conference didn't come on. Can say the removal of we should remove the foreign minister because of visa restriction and the honorable Victor Smith. My was a press conference in show na yemra.
U.S. President Donald Trump has placed temporary ban on immigrant visas for some 75 countries and Ghana as part of them. According to the minority, this is as a result of the recklessness of the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Under his tenure, they say he speaks absolutely, quickly and recklessly. And so they want the Foreign Affairs Minister to go.
We cannot continue down this path. The national interests demand change. The welfare of millions of Ghanaians demand it. Ghana's reputation in the world demand it. Your foreign minister have outlived his usefulness. He values applause over achievement, rhetorics over results, and most damningly, his pattern of reckless diplomacy has made Ghana less safe, less respected, and more vulnerable on the international stage. The minority therefore calls on you, Your Excellency, to remove Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa from the foreign minister's portfolio immediately and appoint in place a competent diplomat, a proven experience, a steady judgment, and a new person of commitment to Ghana's long-term standing interest over personal political theater.
Leading the minority was the deputy ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Nana Asafo Aye, who asked the president to recall Ghana's ambassador to the U.S., Victor Smith, over similar diplomatic infractions.
Ambassador Smith has apparently forgotten that his job is not to be the government propaganda chief in America. His job is to protect Ghana's interest in Washington, to engage, to negotiate, to prevent disasters like this visa freeze. He has failed catastrophically. President Mahama must recall him immediately. Ghana cannot afford ambassadors who prioritizes press release breaching confidentiality on consular services over diplomatic engagement when our national interests hang in the balance.
As part of their demands, the minority is asking for immediate public accountability. That's
Now, I do free press conference with moi. Ketunov MP, the youngest MP in Ketunov, Honorable Edem Abena, the very brilliant young guy. Or catch it say minority fuwe mo press conference and we a lucky substance. So of fresh press conference useless. And also my mum must have video in show.
25 January. The NPP minority and the NPP as a political party has organized many press conferences. And yesterday's one organized by my very good friend Nana Asafo. In fact, I spoke to Nana Asafo this morning, and I can tell you, Roland, that yesterday's press conference was the most useless. The most useless,
what do you mean by useless?
Reckless conference that they have ever organized. Because it is a press conference that lacks substance. It's a press conference that they use the platform to maliciously go after the foreign minister for nothing. It was the most useless press conference they have ever organized. We can go into the issues, and I have the press conference, the full press statement here with me. Roland, it is okay in politics to try and copy. It is okay to try and model after an exceptional politician. It is okay for the NPP, especially Asafueje and his colleagues on the Foreign Affairs Committee, to try and copy what the Honorable Ablakwa did when he was ranking. But if you cannot pay...
We do free video na afeni e ba kwasi prata nsem na o kan so se Israel MPCB a odim so minority for allegedly ekopie mu e Israel achemo detain mu ni nyina the help of what the Oguje to Abrakwa. At then after the more demand, they say he should be resigned, he should be sacked from office with immediate effect because of visa immigrant visa US visa restriction. And Kwasi Prazi Choma, and only the Ghana and Kwana this visa restriction we have to buy B1 B2 visa there. Ube to me the ako and no more can say red cap on a tone soon. No B1 B2 visa yeah business visa and visiting visa the Ubenya but immigrants all cotton on 1 year Jumano. And no more visa restriction, but ain't Kwasi party chuma minority for one common to Mamonka a black one was a black aboamo. Moko Israel na ye chewoni detain him a black enemy then a release him. Allegedly, let me put it that way. Allegedly, into my main phone kura Kwasi Pratt, the team Samoka, and the praises that he's giving to what the foreign minister. Stay tuned.
The minority in parliament at the press conference, I had mixed reactions. First, I was so totally embarrassed. And then, secondly, I was completely shocked. Shocked that they could issue such a statement. One of the things that they complained about was that first, I was so totally embarrassed. And then, secondly, I was completely shocked. Shocked that they could issue such a statement. One of the things that they complained about was that Ghana, under the leadership of the foreign minister, had retaliated when members of parliament went to Israel and were maltreated, they were detained. Ghana retaliated. And they don't see why Ghana should have retaliated. So they have no respect for themselves. They are not even ready to protect their own dignity. Ghanaian members of parliament go to Israel, they are detained and maltreated. And when our foreign ministry reacts, their reaction is that the foreign minister must be sacked for defending the dignity of parliament and parliamentarians. And so shocking, unbelievable. Look, diplomacy is based on the principle of reciprocity. That is what diplomacy is based on. Anybody who has any understanding of diplomacy appreciates this principle of reciprocity. And that is the principle which was applied in the case of the maltreatment of Ghanaian parliamentarians by Israel. And the minority cannot see it. It's so shocking, it's unbelievable. The second issue they raise is that the U.S. has placed restrictions on non-immigrant visa for 75 countries. 75 countries. And therefore the Ghanaian foreign minister must be dismissed. Mr. Ato, it's so shocking, it's unbelievable that anybody can issue such a statement. Now, are they saying that foreign ministers of 75 countries were immature, deserve to be dismissed and so on. Because this is a measure which is affecting 75 countries. Ghana is one of 75 countries. You understand? So how can they, on the basis of this, call for the dismissal of Ghana's foreign minister? What happened? Very strange. In any case, if you read or heard the statement that the president himself made at the UN General Assembly, everything the foreign ministry has done in the period is in sync with the president's message. So how do you call upon the president to dismiss his foreign minister for doing exactly what the president wants done? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Now, the other thing which shocks me is the fact that the minority does not appear to have any problems with Israeli genocide in Gaza. Look at the number of people who have been slaughtered in Gaza. And indeed, which country in the world, apart from the US, has supported Israeli action in Gaza? The UN General Assembly, when the vote was cast, only the US voted with Israel. It's unbelievable. Yeah. You understand? That they managed to put together this statement and released it. I mean, nobody saw the statement. Nobody from the minority side saw the statement. Nobody advised them to shelve that useless statement. They actually held a press conference and released it. Unbelievable. Then they venture into Venezuela. And I can't believe it. Look, I have read the statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Namibia and South Africa. Wow. Far, far stronger than the statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ghana. Everything in the statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ghana is amplified in the statement issued by the African Union. Not just that, look at the mass democratic organizations in Africa and the position they have taken. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, the largest trade union movement in Africa, issued a statement much, much stronger than the statement which was issued by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs. WATU, the Organization of African Trade Union Unity, issued a similar statement in condemnation of the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro. CARICOM, the CARICOM states issued a strong statement condemning the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro. Even the Western allies of the United States of America, all of them without exception, said that what the Trump administration did was in violation of international law. Some of them had caveats. I mean, if you look at Steinmeier, the British Prime Minister, he said that, look, the action had moral justification, but did not have, was a violation of international law. So as of the fact that international law was violated, there's no country in the world, except Israel, which has not condemned the action as a violation of international law and a subversion of the rules-based order which was created after 1945. So what is the minority complaining about? I mean, unbelievable. Look, there are Republican senators, people who belong to the same political party as Donald Trump, who have condemned this action. So, what is the minority talking about? I can't believe it. I mean, my brother Philip London, Safuhini, made reference to the speech, and I think Alaji also did that. delivered by the Prime Minister of Canada at Davos yesterday. They should go and read that speech. The Prime Minister of Canada is frightened by the actions of Donald Trump. And he's saying that it could destroy the existing world order with severe consequences for every country. Now, what are the actions of Donald Trump, by the way? Donald Trump is sitting in Malabo or the White House, wherever, and has decided that he wants Canada. He wants to take Canada. He wants to have Canada as the 52nd state of the United States of America. Can you believe it? He wants to take Canada and add to the U.S. as the 52nd state of the U.S. Not just that, he wants to acquire Greenland and is ready to pay $100,000 for every inhabitant to buy Greenland. Can you believe this? Greenland is part of Denmark and is part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And yet Donald Trump wants to take it. Indeed, the Canadian Prime Minister, in the statement which he read at Davos yesterday, actually said that Canada is ready to go to war with the U.S. over this matter. He said that their commitment to Article 5 of the NATO treaty cannot be shaken. What does that mean? It means that they are ready to go to war. That Article 5 says that if any NATO member is attacked, all the rest have to join hands in the defense of that country. So by reference to Article 5 of the NATO treaty, Canada is saying that it is ready to go to war with the U.S. The minority in Ghana's parliament doesn't know this, cannot appreciate this, is so daft that it cannot read this. You understand? Donald Trump, he wants Gaza for himself to build hotels and so on. That's what he wants. And you expect us, the people of Ghana, the government of Ghana, the foreign minister of Ghana, to keep quiet over this? Unbelievable. Donald Trump sits in Washington and decides that Venezuela should not have any economic or trade relations with Russia, China, and Cuba. He is dictating the foreign policy of a sovereign state. Last week, he said that the best president